In this lesson, we're going to focus on adding and subtracting fractions. Let's say if we have 3 over 5 plus 4 over 7. How can we add these two fractions? Well, here's a simple technique. First, multiply 5 and 7, so which will give us a common denominator of 35. Then next, multiply 3 and 7, which is 21, and also there's a plus in between. Then 5 and 4, which is 20. So now, what is 21 plus 20? Which is 41 over 35. Alright, let's try another example. Let's say if we have 7 over 8 minus 2 over 9. So let's use the same technique. 8 times 9 is 72. Then 7 times 9 is 63 minus 8 times 2 is 16. Now, what is 63 minus 16? Which is 47 divided by 72. So 47 is not divisible by 2, nor it is divisible by 3. So the final answer will be 47 divided by 72. So now you know how to add and subtract two fractions. What if we wanted to add or subtract, let's say, 3 fractions instead of 2? What should we do in this case? So let's say we wish to combine 3 over 4 plus 5 over 3 minus 7 over 2. Whenever you wish to add or subtract fractions, the denominator has to be the same. The denominator is the bottom part of the fraction. So as you can see right now, they are all different. So boys and girls, how can we make them the same? How can we get the common denominator there? If you want to find, you have to make a list of common multiples of these 3 numbers. So first we will find the common multiples of 2. So the common multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on. For the 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18, and so on. So for the 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So from here we're going to find a number that is common to all 3 numbers. It also should be the least, so which is going to be 12, because we only have 12 in these numbers. So the least common multiple is 12. 12 is common to 2, 3, 4, and is the lowest of such numbers. Now granted, 24 is also a common multiple, and if you use 24, you can get the right answer. You just got to simplify at the end. So if you ever unsure about how to find the least common denominator, you can find any common denominator. One simple technique is simply to multiply these 3 numbers, and with that you will still get the right answer. Yeah, but then you just have to do a bit of simplification. So now that we know that the least common denominator is 12, let's multiply each fraction in such a way to get 12. So look at the first fraction. Let's multiply the top and the bottom by 3, because 3 times 4 is 12. So for the second fraction, let's multiply by 4, because here 3 times 4 is 12. So for the third fraction, we have to multiply by 6 because 2 times 6 is 12. So 3 times 3 is 9 and 3 times 4 is 12 plus 5 times 4 is 20 and 4 times 3 is 12 minus this is 12 and 7 times 6 is 42, and of course we have to put minus here. Now that we have the same denominators, so let's combine the numerators. 20 plus 9 is 29 and 29 minus 42 is negative 13. So these denominators are all same. This means we can take 1 from there. So our final answer is negative 13 divided by 12. So this will be our final answer. So go ahead and try this example. Eight over 5 minus 2 over 3 plus 9 over 4. So go ahead and add these 3 fractions. So this time to find the least common multiple, we just going to multiply 5 times 3 times 4. It may not be the least common multiple, but it is a common denominator, just so you know. So if we multiply 5 times 4 times 3, this will give us 60. 60 is going to be the common denominator that we are gonna try to get. So we're gonna multiply the first fraction by 12 because 12 times 5 is 60, and the second one by 20 because 20 times 3 is 60. By the way, if you want to find out the number divided, 60 divided by 5 will give you 12. So 60 divided by 3 will give you 20. So 60 divided by 4 will give us the number that we will need to multiply this fraction, which is now 15. So we're going to multiply 15 by 4. Twelve times 8 is 96 divided by 60 minus what is 20 times 2, which is 40, and 20 times 3 is 60 plus. Now what is 15 times 9? So it's gonna be 135, and 15 times 4 is 60. Now 96 minus 40, there's positive 56 over 60, and plus 135 over 60. Let's go ahead and add these 2 fractions. So fashionably 5 plus 6 is 11 and carry over 1. 1 plus 3 plus 5 is 9 and 1. So 191 over 60. So this is going to be our final answer. So our final answer is 191 divided by 60. This lesson we're going to focus on multiplying 2 fractions. Whenever you need to multiply the number across, like 5 times 2, which is 10, and 3 times 7 is 21. So this is the answer is 21 over 10. But sometimes the numbers may not be that small. Let's say if we have large numbers like 24 over 27 times 45 over 30. What should we do in this case? Now, we can't multiply across. We can multiply 24 and 45, which will give us a big number, but we don't really want to deal with big numbers. So what you can do is, since we are multiplying with fractions, it's your best interest to break down the large numbers into smaller numbers. For instance, 24 is basically 6 times 4, and 27 is 9 times 3, and then 45 is 9 times 5 is 45, and then 30 for 30 is gonna be 6 times 5, because 6 times 5 is 30. So now in this way we can do some cancellation, like we can cancel 5 here, and we can cancel a 9, and same is true for 6. Hence our final answer will be 4 over 3. Try this one. (56 over 77 times 35 over 40. So 8 times 7 is 56. So 77 is basically 11 times 7. So 8 times 7 is 56 here, 77. 11 times 7 is 77 is here. So that's how we do. And multiply. So 35 is basically 7 times 5, and 40 is 8 times 5. Right, so let's do some cancellation. We can cancel a 5, and we can cancel a 7 here, and we can cancel 8. So leaving with the answer of 11 times 7. So so this is gonna be 7 over 11. So this is gonna be our final answer. So now you know how to multiply two fractions. In this lesson, we are going to focus on dividing two fractions. Let's use 8 over 5 divided by, let's use 12 over 7. So now perhaps you heard of the expression keep, change, flip. Let me write it down for you. Keep, change, flip. So this is useful in dividing fractions. So basically what you have to do is that you keep the first fraction as it is. So it's going to be 8 over 5. And then you change this division into multiplication. So you're going to use multiplication here, not division. And then you flip the second fraction, all right? So you flip the second fraction. This means it's going to be 7 over 12. So as you can see here, so on my first fraction, the numerator is 12. So now on my second fraction, the numerator becomes 7, and my denominator becomes 12. So now you can basically do like 8 is basically 4 times 2 over 5 times 7, and 12 is basically 4 times 3. So now you may do some cancellation here. You can cancel a 4, and what else you can do? All right, so let's multiply 2 and 7. So What is 7 times 2? Which is 14. And 5 times 3 is 15. So this is going to be our final answer. Go ahead and try this one. 4/3 divided by 9/5. So using the expression keep, change, flip, let's keep the first fraction the same. Let's change the division to multiplication. So 4/3, change this division to multiplication. All right, so multiplication and flip this fraction. So it's gonna be 5/9. So we can't cancel anything here, so let's multiply across instead. Okay, multiply this one and this, and this one and this. So what is 4 times 5? 4 times 5 is 20, and 3 times 9 is 27. So this is the final answer, 20 divided by 27. Now, what if you see a problem that looks like this? 36/54 divided by 64/48. If you have a fraction written this way, what should you do? This expression is equivalent to saying 36 divided by 54 divided by 64/48. And then we can use the keep, change, flip principle. Let's keep the first fraction the same, and change the sign to become multiply, and flip the second fraction. So there's going to be 48/64. So 36, we can break down 36 to a smaller number. So 9 times 4 is 36, and 9 times 6 is 54. Right, so multiply. So if you want to break down 48, you can 16 times 3 is 48, and 64. So if you want to break down 64, 16 times 4 is 64. So now we can do some cancellation there. Let's cancel 9 and 16, and then same is true for 4. So leaving the answer of 3/6. Okay, so it's 3/6. All right. So I think we can further simplify this 3/6. All right. So if we divide both up and down by 3, we can get an answer of 1/2, because 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. So our final answer is 1/2.